the travel prep guide for Cuba. Everything you need to know. Cuba is a vibrant, fascinating destination that offers a unique blend of culture, history, music, art, and natural beauty. Whether you're drawn to its classic cars, colonial architecture, stunning beaches, or its rich revolutionary history, there's no shortage of things to see and do. However, before you pack your bags, it's crucial to understand the logistics, local customs, and practicalities to ensure that your trip goes smoothly. In this guide, we'll walk you through everything you need to know to plan a memorable and hassle-free trip to Cuba. From understanding the country's entry requirements to knowing what to pack, we'll cover all the essentials and help you get ready for your Cuban adventure. 1. Getting to Cuba. Flights and transportation. The first step in planning your trip to Cuba is booking your flight. Several airlines fly to Cuba from major cities across the US, Canada, and Europe. Havana is the most popular international airport, but there are also airports in Varadero, Cienfuegos, Santiago de Cuba, and Holguin that might offer more convenient connections depending on where you're staying. Flights from the US. Flights are available from major cities like Miami, New York, and Los Angeles. Be aware of any restrictions that might apply due to US travel policies to Cuba. Although tourism is restricted, there are several categories that allow travel, such as educational, people-to-people exchanges, family visits, and humanitarian reasons. From Canada, Europe. Flights from Canada are generally more frequent and less restrictive, with major airlines like Air Canada, WestJet, and others offering direct flights to Havana and other Cuban destinations. Getting around Cuba. Taxis. Taxis are a convenient way to get around within cities. You can use the classic Cuban taxis, often old American cars, but also modern taxis that run through mobile apps like Uber, The Limited. Public transportation. Public buses are available in Cuba, and there's also the iconic Cuban camiones shared trucks for longer distances. Renting a car. If you're planning to explore beyond Havana, renting a car is an option, but availability and road conditions can vary. Keep in mind that car rentals may require pre-booking, as supplies are limited. 2. Visa and entry requirements. As of now, most visitors to Cuba will need a visa. The process is fairly straightforward, but differs depending on your nationality. U.S. travelers, tourist visa. For U.S. citizens, the visa is often called a tourist card or tarjeta del turista, which you can obtain through a travel agency, your airline, or the Cuban consulate. It is usually valid for up to 30 days, and you may need to extend it once you're there if you wish to stay longer. Travel categories. As of recent years, U.S. citizens cannot travel purely for tourism. However, you can travel under specific categories, such as cultural exchange, education, family visits, or humanitarian reasons. Your airline or travel agency can help with this. Other nationals. Many countries have relaxed visa policies, allowing citizens to visit Cuba without needing a tourist visa for stays of up to 30 days. However, it's always a good idea to check with your embassy or consulate before traveling. 3. Money in Cuba. Cuba has a unique currency system that can be a bit confusing at first. Historically, the Cuban government had two official currencies, the Cuban peso cup and the convertible peso CUC. But as of 2021, the CUC has been phased out, leaving the CUP as the only legal tender. For travelers, this means currency exchange. You can exchange foreign currencies like USD, Euros, or CAD for Cuban pesos at exchange houses called Cadeca. Note that US dollars carry a 10% penalty for exchange, so it's often better to bring euros or Canadian dollars for exchange. Atoms and cards. ATMs are available in major cities and tourist areas, but they often have high fees and may not accept all international cards. Bringing cash with you is advisable. Keep in mind that most credit and debit cards issued by US banks won't work in Cuba, so you'll need to plan ahead. 4. Accommodation in Cuba. Cuba offers a wide range of accommodations, from budget-friendly hostels to luxurious beach resorts. However, there are some unique options that are worth considering. Casa Particular. These are private homes that have been approved to rent rooms to tourists. Staying in a Casa Particular allows you to experience Cuba like a local and is often more affordable than hotels. You'll get an intimate experience, and many hosts offer homemade meals. Hotels. While there are many government-run hotels in Cuba, including some luxury options, they can be more expensive and less comfortable than casas. In Havana, some hotels offer a colonial charm, but modern amenities can be hit or miss. Resorts. If you're heading to the beaches of Veradero or Cayo Coco, all-inclusive resorts are popular and offer a more traditional tourist experience. 5. What to pack? Cuba has a tropical climate, so you'll want to pack light, breathable clothing, but also be mindful of cultural norms. Clothing. Pack lightweight, comfortable clothing for the hot days, and a sweater or jacket for cooler evenings. Long-sleeve shirts and pants are advisable for protection from mosquitoes, especially in the evenings. Footwear. Comfortable walking shoes are a must, as you'll likely do a lot of exploring on foot. If you plan to go to the beach, pack sandals or water shoes. Sunscreen and bug repellent. Both are essential, as the sun is strong year-round and mosquitoes can be a nuisance. Adapters. Cuba uses 110 volts and 220 volts with Type A and Type B plugs, so bring an adapter if you're traveling from outside the US. 6. Health and safety in Cuba. Cuba is a relatively safe country for travelers, but it's always important to stay vigilant. Here are a few tips for health and safety. Travel insurance. Cuba requires all visitors to have travel insurance that includes health coverage. You can often purchase this insurance at the airport if you don't have it already. Health facilities. Healthcare in Cuba is generally good, with well-trained doctors and hospitals in the major cities. However, you may want to bring any necessary prescription medications with you. Food and water. While the food in Cuba is delicious, it's important to drink only bottled water to avoid stomach issues. Stick to well-cooked food, especially if you have a sensitive stomach. 7. Cultural etiquette and tips. Cuba is a place where culture, history, and traditions are deeply important. Here are a few things to keep in mind. Language. Spanish is the official language of Cuba. While many people in the tourism industry speak some English, learning a few basic Spanish phrases will go a long way in making your experience more enjoyable. Tipping. Tipping is appreciated in Cuba, though not obligatory. A tip of 1 CUC per meal is typical for restaurant servers, and small tips for hotel staff are also customary. Respect local customs. Cubans are friendly and warm, but it's important to respect local traditions. Public displays of affection, for example, are generally fine, but avoid discussing politics or the government, as it can be a sensitive topic. 8. Top destinations to visit in Cuba. Havana. The capital city is a must-see, with its colorful architecture, historic sites like the Malecon, and the iconic old Havana Habana Vieja. Veradero. A popular resort area known for its white sand beaches and crystal-clear waters. Trinidad, a UNESCO World Heritage Site with cobblestone streets, colonial buildings, and close proximity to hiking in Topes de Colantes. Vinales, a stunning region known for its tobacco fields and limestone mountains, perfect for hiking, horseback riding, or exploring caves. Cuba is a country like no other, with its captivating blend of history, culture, and natural beauty. Whether you're exploring the streets of Havana, lounging on the beaches of Veradero, or hiking in the Vinales Valley, you're sure to create unforgettable memories. To ensure a smooth and enjoyable trip, it's important to plan ahead, understand the entry requirements, and prepare for the unique aspects of traveling in Cuba. With a little preparation, you'll be ready to dive into everything this incredible destination has to offer. If you found this guide helpful, be sure to hit like and subscribe for more travel tips and guides. Safe travels!